Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox live Q&A. I'm Dr. Darrell, Wolfe, your host, and I just want to say this. Thank you for joining me. You know what? And I hope that you really enjoy our shows, and if ever you want to see anything or hear anything on our shows, you know what? This is your show. So understand that we will do our best to bring the information that you need. And just remember something, watch Doc Talk Q&As as well. And you're going to see that just the other day I showed why we get prostate inflammation. The next one I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be showing about rheumatoid arthritis. Then I'm going to show about endometriosis. So I'm going to be bringing up every week where I'm just going to do a show on how a condition happens. But what I'm going to be doing next week is I showed how the prostate problem happens, but I'm going to show now this week what you would do to take action for a prostate problem and everything that we show our patients, okay? So understand, this show is not about just bringing you information or trying to sell you products. It's about bringing you empowering information where if you watch a show, I want you to always be able to just take massive personal action right away. Okay? Because that's the whole deal. When you don't know how to master and create the perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed, isn't that what it's about? You know, whether you're an Olympian or whether you can play the violin or you can sing well, you had to practice. You had to put your heart into it. You had to be passionate about it. And anybody that has an amazing life or has discovered something amazing has put their heart into it. Okay? So today's show is EMF 5G crystal therapy with Peter Webb. Peter Webb has had a long connection with all things nature. And guess what? He's one of the world's top radionic specialists when it comes to the health and wellness of your crops, animals, and of course, human beings. Okay, you have to understand something. Peter's kind of like a really sweet, humble guy. He'll be on in a minute. And the reality is he gets calls from all over the world, whether it's a lake that doesn't have bacteria, the right bacteria, or whether it's a farm and the chickens are dying, or whether it's somebody's children, and he knows how to go in and actually with radionics create vibrations and systems. And hey, don't believe me, but I'm going to get him to tell some details today on how people overnight, or you know, there was a guy and he has this big grow up, marijuana grow up, and it's full of mold. And then what did he do? Peter does some tweaking, radionics, which is frequencies, right? Across the world. Oh, can't believe in that. No, wouldn't want to do that. And then the next day the guy goes, the mold is gone. So, and I can tell you all kinds of stories with Peter, from animals to humans to crops. So understand that Peter is here today to teach us about this amazing science. And just as there are harmful frequencies that can injure and even kill us, like that's obvious, 5G's coming. And you wouldn't believe this. Guess what I just found out? I just found out that good old Kelowna, where I live, it's so beautiful here, they want to make our downtown into total 5G. And everybody's just so excited. You know, let's get everybody excited about that. Okay, so just as you can have frequencies that can kill you, there are healing frequencies that can bring your vibration up on an emotional and physical level. Hey, we prove that here every day. Okay, and guess what? These frequencies that we're talking about, they work all the way down to the mitochondria level. Okay, so guess what? Today is a Q&A. So send your questions in. I've got my phone. You can send them in on intercom. You can send them in on Facebook. You can send them in on YouTube. And Tara's monitoring that, and she'll send me up the questions. And when I get a question, I'm going to put it up first, and we're going to do the live ones first. And we'll get to all of them today because your questions matter, because guess what? Your health matters. Now, before I bring on Peter, I just want to say something. And I know you haven't studied this. Most of you haven't studied this. Most of you don't know this because you're not supposed to know this. You don't know that you're made out of 7 octillion particles. Okay, so that would be 7 billion, billion, billion. Okay, and those, I said octillion particles. Those particles are 99.999999996 empty space. But that's not empty space. It is actually your field. It's what you truly are. It's your energy. And understand something. The day that you understand that when you feed your spirit, you will heal the body. So yes, we have great supplements, but everything at the Doc of Detox are supplements. I don't want to call them supplements. They're high vibrational nutrition. They're vibrational, concentrated, whole plant-based nutrition. And that's what you got to look at. When you take nutrition, it better be high vibration. Okay, it better have a high vibration on it, because don't believe what they tell you is in the supplement. Because where did they get it from? Is it dead before it even gets there? Everything's about vibration, because this is it. Everything you drink, no matter how much or how nutritional it is, everything you eat, no matter how nutritional it is, how well you chew it, you pick up the vibration, and that stays in the body, but nothing else does. Wait a minute here. That's right. The vitamin A, the B, the C, the E, the D, they don't even stay in the body. They leave the vibration, the frequency behind, and that's where the invisible creates the physical. And that's why the 5G is going to be creating, okay, just want to say this before we bring him on. So heart disease is number one. No, wait a minute. No, it's not. Cancer is. That's why, because every year they're fighting for first place. But guess what will be first place in 2 to 3 years? It'll be neurological diseases. But understand, cancer is going to fly through the roof. Okay, heart disease is going to fly, and every autoimmune disease is going to fly through the roof. And you think I'm kidding? Why do you think they lie, cry, and they justify about 5G? Because 5G is going to make us all sick, right? And if you think that there's not a thing going on behind this, then you've got another thing coming. And when you start getting illnesses and you start complaining about things that you don't understand and your doctor doesn't understand, and that's because you never believed in the invisible. Did you? You thought everything that was important was physical. Well, it's not. The worst thing in this world is invisible, okay? All right? And the best thing in this world is invisible, because the invisible creates the physical. End of story. So we are light energy beings, so you better get that. And guess what? It's all about vibration. You bring your vibration up, oh, wait a minute, I'm happy. You bring the vibration up with the bacteria in your body, and you're going to be healthy. You bring your vibration down, oh, wait a minute. That's what we just did for the last 2 months, right? That we allowed them to scare us until we crapped our pants and we dumped adrenaline and cortisol into our body. And now, guess what? Are you ready for this? In California, this month, in the last 4 weeks, more people have committed suicide than in the whole year, last year. Now, whether you believe this or not, cancer's going through the roof. Okay, and so is heart disease and heart attacks and strokes right now more than ever before. And that's because you took on a negative vibration and you bought in to all this negativity. So you got to bring in positivity, any form that you can. Positivity with foods, positivity with moods, positivity with your drink, positivity with what you think. Positivity with what you do, and let's talk to Mr. Positivity. So let's begin the show, and I'm going to bring Peter on, and we've got a bunch of questions here, but just remember, I've got my phone, and this is a live Q&A. All right, we're really here. All right, so good day, Peter. Thanks for joining us. How you doing, buddy?
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready. Okay, all right. So there you go. He's ready. So let's talk about Janice here first. She just sent this in live. Thank you, Janice. You're the first one. You're on the ball. All right. So Janice, does the protector, now everyone, the protector is for the house. And I'll have Peter show the protector. I can show it here too, but here's a protector, everyone. Look how beautiful this is. Okay. Let me see if you can see that. This is the purple one. Okay, and then there's also a beautiful green one. These are the protectors, and they're made out of crystal, everyone. Okay, now she wants to know about the protector. Okay, I raise honeybees and a variety of fruit trees. My question is, okay, which device would work better for the farm? A Revitalizer or a Guardian, and why? Thank you. Take it away, Peter.
Yeah, it would depend on the size of your property. We have the Guardian, which is for the growing crops. It does up to 50 acres and possibly a little more. So
can you show them the Guardian, Peter? Will you show it what the Guardian is? So the protector's in the middle, the smaller one, and then the Guardian is 3 times the size of the Protector. Now,
Yeah.
could she actually use a Protector in the garden? Not really. It's not built for that, is it?
No, it doesn't cover a big enough radius. It
Yeah.
does 200 feet all around it, where certainly we have farms where we have the Revitalizer on that have bees on them, and they've been on organic farm for years and years, but this year they're not there because the farmer was in his 80s and he just couldn't maintain those hives. But the health of those bees was remarkable. So with the
Peter, can you tell me about the bees though? Like, why was it remarkable? Were they making more honey, or they just live longer?
They certainly lived longer, but they were also part of the pollination of their green peas, cucumbers, red, green, yellow, banana peppers, sweet corn, all the different crops they were producing and still are today. So the bees have a healthy environment. There are no pesticides used in that environment. And of course, even with the Guardian right now, we have the DC positive and negative, which is plasma, and plasma has been proven to defend the plants against leaf-eating insects. In fact, on the farm that we have, the main one, there's usually 40 to 50 applications of pesticides, insecticides, or fungicides, but with this technology, they're down to 1, and that's to meet the government minimum standard, because the government are in every week with pheromone traps trying to catch what insects are in the field. So, yeah, there's no question. If you got a small property, actually, you could even take the Guardian and put it right in among the beehives. I mean, you could set it on the side where the bees come in. There's a little ledge there normally, and it would cover that whole 50 acres around it. And of course, we also, in the agriculture, we use a thing called a refractometer. This is what it looks like. And it's to take the sap of the plant to take a reading of the Brix, which is sugar. So the higher sugar in the plant, the higher sugar there will be in the flowers for the bees to pollinate. So they're going to get a big advantage to bees that are being affected by all of the airborne pollution. The other thing is, of course, radiation, which these protect against a lot of the radiation that's in the atmosphere now. So it'll help the bees to navigate their way back and forth, because they pretty well fly on radar, automatic pilot. They know exactly where their hive is, and they go out as far as 2 miles or more to harvest pollen to produce honey to feed their baby bees that are in the hive. But of course, they produce more honey than they need for that purpose. So we harvest the honey, and yeah, that would be a major benefit for your bees. And of course, all these things have a calming effect. The Guardian, the Defender, Protector, Bodyguard, they all have a subtle energy calming effect on the environment. So yeah, it would be a good thing to have. That's all I want to say on that part of it.
So what you're saying is that the Guardian will do up to
50 acres.
It'll do up to 50 acres. So that's going to be anybody's personal garden for sure, and their property in most cases. And so Julie's asking here from Facebook, she wants to know, so I don't have a garden, but I have beautiful flowers and I have grandchildren that come to play. And I'm worrying about other sprays or even chemtrails and things of that nature. So she's saying, would it be worth it for me to get one, and would it beautify and make my grass and flowers and everything healthier for even my grandchildren?
It would be, but it's kind of a little bit of an overkill, because the Protector is already doing circle, 200 feet in each direction, 200 feet in the air and 200 feet in the soil, which pretty much would cover the average person's yard. I mean, and this we've seen this with many places now where
So the protector for the house is would be good enough for somebody with the average yard then.
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've got a question here. Nancy asks, if I were to get the Guardian, can I put it in the window of my house and it will effectively work on the garden and the area as well?
No, you don't want to put the Guardian in a window because it's it's crystal, and if the sun hit that crystal, you're probably seeing a person take a magnifying glass and get the sun and then hold a piece of paper and you can set the paper on fire. You don't want these things where they're going to be exposed to the sun. Now you could put them. This is one thing I want to emphasize. Energy and frequency pass through everything. So if it's in a home and you've got a wall, it just automatically pass through it because frequencies do that. They pass through pretty much everything except maybe lead or lead shielding. But no, the best place is to have it near that window, but not in the window. It could be on a cabinet in the where you have your plates and stuff, somewhere in the house. It's still going to go out and do that yard and that area.
So that's the Guardian. Will go out and do the yard
Yeah.
in the area. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, so what you're saying is, where was I going with this? Yeah. So what you're saying is that it's like anything else. I mean, did you ever go get a cell phone call and you were in a big, thick building or it was a steel building and you couldn't get the reception? So it's the same thing with that, isn't it, Peter? Like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah.
All right. Very good. What is best to put the Bodyguard on? Cord, metal, chain. What should I do I just bought a Bodyguard. This is Robbie. He wants to know what would be best to put it on.
Well, it's certainly the silver or gold chain is the preferred, but a leather one works extremely well too. We don't recommend getting a cheap chain because it detoxifies, so it'll start staining your body where the the heavy metals or the metals that come out of that chain. So you want a good quality chain.
Yeah.
Or you can go to the leather shoelace and it works just the same.
Thank you. So everybody, if you want to take a look, this is mine. It's a purple one. You can see it, okay? And it's on a silver chain. So, and I want to show everybody here, just so if you don't know what Bodyguards are, there's the protector for the home, the Bodyguards for the body, and then the Guardian is for the big garden, and then there's the Defender, and that's for like a 50-acre building, or it could be a hospital, it could be a lot of different things. If I was going to the hospital, I think I'd want to take my Defender with me, to be honest with you, especially when all hospitals are now 5G. And guess what? I hope you parents are actually calling up the principal and holding his feet to the fire and asking him, did they install the 5G yet? That's going to fry your kids' brains. Oh, and if it's a boy, it's going to fry their testicles. So just so you know that, it's going to make them sterile. And just so you know, when your kids come home from school from the 5G and their eyes are burning and they can't focus and they have a headache, please don't get upset with them. Just know that they went into a 5G prison, okay? So, and here's all the different Bodyguards, everybody. And I know I talk a little bit harsh sometimes, but why is it that the kids have to always pay for adults' mistakes? I get a little irritated about that, to be honest with you. But here they are. These are all the different colors of the protectors, and they're beautiful. And that's that. So let's take a look. Let's move on to our next one here. The next one is, does the protector, now the protector, everybody, extended out of the outside my small 1,800 square foot home. I have more birds and plants are happier. So she wants to know, Janice got a protector, and she wants to know, will the protector extend out of her 1,800 square foot home and protect her birds and plants, okay?
Yes, it will, because the average home is about 1,200 to 1,400 in where we are right now. But no, it'll extend out to the, you see, all these devices will extend out to the edge of your property. If it's within
200 feet.
200 feet, it'll extend that far. And I don't think there are many lots that are bigger than 200 feet across, than 200 feet deep. So, no, it'll go in. Now, while we're talking about it, we have meters that we measure EMFs with. And right now I'm sitting in front of a great big Wi-Fi for the computer. And this meter will measure radio and microwaves. And where I'm sitting right now, I get a 0 reading on all of the electromagnetic, magnetic, electric, and radio and microwave. So we have them. And then, of course, we were testing some pendants the other day, yesterday actually.
Bodyguards, right?
Well, the Bodyguards, but we also attack because they're programmed the same. So you have the DC current into the protector.
Okay.
And it's what our body should be, DC current. And this is where we were testing, and the same thing would happen with the protector. We took a meter, this meter here, which is a multimeter, and it measures milliwaves, milliamps. And without the protector, our milliamps were 5. But once we put the protector in, our milliamps went up to 35 to 40 milliamps. And this is a sign, because let's face it, not only are we light, we're also electrical, because our heart wouldn't beat without electricity. I'm talking about DC electricity, because that's what our body functions on. So yes, and the other one is the oxygen. The protector also puts in high levels of oxygen in, and we've now got nurses in hospitals that have to test their oxygen every day when they go in, and they're all running. They go in at 92, 93, and then they put the pendant on, and they're up to 99. So the same thing within the home. Your blood oxygen would be running in that 99 range, which is it's what you need, a high oxygen in your blood, because 5G, the first thing it does, it ties up oxygen and remove it from the environment. And that's not me talking, it's the scientists that are talking this way. So, there are many factors that we put into this system to enhance your health and keep your body healthy and your mind clear. And yeah, that's what I would say on that one.
Very good. And understand something, this is just my personal opinion, which, I'm just a practitioner, but the reality is that wherever the 5G was the biggest and the most powerful, every place like Wuhan and Italy, and if you take a look in other parts of the States, you'll find out that's where the coronavirus was the worst, because we know that 5G actually causes and radiates the cells, and it can actually make any condition worse. So I want everybody to do their own homework on that fact and really find out something, because whether you want to believe this or not, and I'll make it really short and quick, is that we've always had viruses, okay? This virus is no worse than some of the ones we've ever had. 2 years ago, the flu season was just as bad as this, very close to it. So if you really want to do the hardcore research and find out that hospitals were actually getting paid, and doctors have actually been told that don't worry, don't test people for coronavirus. If you think they died of it, just write it down. So the reality is that this is really going to help 5G come out when it really starts hurting people, and then they can just say it's the coronavirus going wild again. It's the second phase, it's the third phase, it's the fourth phase. And understand something. Whether you want to believe this or not, we need to protect you for 5G, everybody. But 5G is just so that they can track and trace you, they can monitor you, and they need you to stand 2 meters away from each other, because that's the only way that their cameras can initialize you and track and trace you on where you go, what you buy, who you see, and what you do. So until we can actually come together and make our government reverse this 5G, because it's really not a benefit. It's only for AI. It's to make all of our children become artificially intelligent, and then actually may not believe this. You may not be alive, because it may take 30 to 50 years, but we will be working for the robots. So right now, all we can do is make these bodyguards and protectors and defenders and defend ourselves until we actually want to stand up and protect ourselves. Okay, let's move on to the next question. All right, so next question is, Nancy, okay. Does Shungite necklaces help protect against radiation? Not much, I can tell you that. Not much.
No, they're not as, you'd have to have a really a big amount of it to have a major effect. We actually put Shungite frequencies into the protector. It's one of the properties that we put in maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It's only because we have so many different elements in there that is helping. So yeah, we can talk about 5G, but unless, my vision now is that we're here to help you to protect yourself. I'm kind of thinking that when children go to school in those 5G environments with a very low oxygen rate, they're going to be doing a lot of sleeping in their desks, I think, because oxygen is what you need to stay awake and stay alert. The other thing, the protector or the guardian, they are helping your body because your mouth and nose isn't the only thing that breathes. Your entire skin surface is breathing, and it breathes, and you're getting all these gases from furniture, environment, even the chemtrails. So what we're able to do is mobilize more blood going to the skin and helping the skin to detoxify and regenerate, and you have a much healthier skin. I mean, today Nancy said she has no more veins in her legs since she's been carrying the pendant, the bodyguard. Yeah.
Well, Peter, I have to tell everybody, here's the great side effect, right? Beautiful skin. Okay, kids got acne, beautiful skin. You got scarring, beautiful skin. You're starting to get wrinkles, you're starting to fall down your skin, beautiful skin. I'm not telling you it's going to do everything, and it's a facelift, but you're going to notice it. You're going to notice it in probably a few days to a couple of weeks. Everybody does. So understand something. It's not just going to love the skin you're in, but it's going to love the body you're in, because these frequencies, they go right into the body. They go deep down into the cells, everyone. And I know you're going, oh my God, it's just a pendant. It can't. Well, you know what? It's the amazing thing today is that we can believe a lot of negative things, but we can't seem to believe a lot of positive things, can we? So, the more you do your research, the more you'll be able to actually embrace this. Okay, next question. What EMF device can protect 1 acre of land with our house garden on it? So that would be, I think, could you do 1 acre with a protector and not with the guardian? The guardian, everybody, is 50 acres. The protector is 200 feet out from the protector every which way. Would that be 1 acre, Peter? Do you know?
Not quite. It wouldn't cover it, and it would be a half acre, I would think, that that we're covering. But really, if you want to really protect that land, you need this guardian. It's not expensive. When you look at a lifetime thing, we constantly updated every time there's a new frequency come in that's harmful. We take time and we figure a way of neutralizing it, and that neutralization goes into all the products. And so, yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is to allow everyone that has a land that can really have really have an experience of living in a perfect, well, we're as close as we can get to perfect atmosphere. And when we're on the same subject, this is priced that any farmer that has doubt, that has a dairy barn, a poultry barn, a hog barn, he can buy one of these and put it in his office in the barn and do the whole barn area and just see for himself the results, because animals respond very quickly to this kind of energy.
Well, animals and children, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because adults are, yeah, they're a little different.
We'll throw some pets in there too, because pets really love this stuff. You know, it's what a lot of people tell me, that they just put these things near their pets and they just relax and become calm. So I think a lot of children that are showing signs of I'm talking about attention deficit disorder and that kind of thing. These would have a measurable effect as far as calming those children down and bringing their whole systems into sync, because everyone is so out of balance today with the food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we drink.
How about everybody today is so fearful? Did you notice that? They said everybody locked down for 2 months and destroy the economy, and everybody bought into it. I'm not trying to pick on people, but the reality is I'm not going to give up on this, because the second wave will be coming, and I wonder if we're actually going to speak up. And it's like everything. Today, do this. Tomorrow, do this. Actually, they're just trying to see how far and how high you'll jump. So, Peter, will you tell them all the different things, or not all of it, because we'll be here for quite a while, but you put in vitamins, you put in minerals, you put in enzymes, you put in protection for blue light, you put in protection for 5G, Wi-Fi. What are some of the other things you put in to these radionics?
Well, first we look at, the first thing we put in was the polarities. These spins of that are in every cell of our body, because again, everything has a spin on it. Some is positive and the other is negative, but some of the minerals are positive and some are negative. So you have to have these spins. So when the mineral goes into the cell, if it's a clockwise spin, it goes in and goes into the cell, and waste come away from the cell. And then it goes counterclockwise to bring in another mineral. So your body is about 30 seconds, it's doing this activity in the cells, like a figure eight going around. Then we put in the summer solstice sun. We talk about the sun. You feel good when you have it in the sun, but we can use the frequencies of the sun all year round, and this is what we do. It's same as the moon, the stars. We use all of the colors of the rainbow, because every vitamin mineral has a color attached to it. So, and this is why when you spray water into the air and the sun hits it, you got a refracting of light. You get a rainbow formed from the molecules, the different elements in that water. The same as northern lights, it's their plasma. We're putting the positive, negative DC into the body again, because plasma is also it's actually ozone, so it's another form of oxygen, but it also has a strengthening of the immune system. And of course, there is emotions that we can put in, like love, joy, happiness. Everyone has a frequency, and we're able to isolate them We put them in, and so yeah, to carry on all the time, we put in nano gold and colloidal silver, two elements. The other thing, magnesium. Our bodies need. There's so many elements a body needs today, and so they're all being put in. Now, if we took um, a product that has vitamins and minerals in it, we have to put them into frequency form, and that way frequency form will maintain the quality forever. If you have them in a raw form, they will deteriorate within a year. So everything we do has a lifetime effect, and it's taken us a long time to understand the synergy between bacteria, enzymes, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, all these things playing functions in our body. And that's why we were able to access up to 200 enzymes, which some enzymes, let me put it another way. If your body is low in oxygen, it becomes anaerobic. And anaerobic is a fermenters. And I'm thinking a lot of people has a lot of fermentation going on in their digestive system.
That's right. You just have to go into their bathroom after they go to the bathroom, and you'd know that.
Yeah, so we've had people say how great it is for acid reflux. They don't have to keep taking the acid reflux pills anymore. So, yeah, we're just trying to normalize the functions and work with these bacteria that are everywhere. They're on our skin, they're in our intestines, they're in our blood, they're all over, they're in our hair, every part of our body. We have millions or trillions of them that are contributing. And of course, if you get the wrong ones, they can, it's a known fact that if you eat too much sugar and the bacteria in your digestive system crave sugar, and they will literally tell your brain, you need a sugar fix, you need a sugar fix. So by being able to harmonize these bacteria to a point where they're working in harmony instead of running against each other. So that's the easiest way I can explain how this all works.
That's fantastic. Okay? Yeah. So just so everybody knows, you've got 50 trillion cells, but you've got 500 trillion bacteria. We're walking bacteria. We've got bacteria, like Peter said, all over our body and all over inside of our body. That's what it's all about. So please don't attack your bacteria. Just go negotiate and bring up the vibration so that they become good guys, not bad guys. And there's something else I wanted to talk about, Peter, and just so everybody gets a really good understanding what's going on here. Okay, now this is science, everybody, so I want you to grab onto this one because this is a real gem. Okay, so everybody knows Bruce Lipton, right? Okay, so there are many other scientists. There's like over a dozen different scientists that are touting the same thing, that every one of us, our cells, we have a different fingerprint, blueprint on the outside of our cells. And understand something. In that blueprint, they say that that's where your frequencies come in, and no other frequency is going to come in there except that spirit frequency. Now, I know this might be a little bit hard for you to take, but it's science. It's not me, not making it up. It's not some new age thing. So let's just really just understand this. So that means that your spirit is always coming in to the cells of your body. And then I'm going to be talking about this in another show, how we block our spirit through our heart, and that the heart is the gateway. Okay? But let's just talk about this. When your spirit is no longer coming in, you no longer exist on this plane. You've left. So the reality is, it's not like your spirit came down, your energy came down, and it's just here. It's continually funneling in from somewhere in the universe. Nobody knows where that is. Now, understand, Peter does the same thing. So whether you're talking about the Bodyguards, whether you're talking about the Protector, or you're talking about the Guardian for the garden, or the Defender for like a big building, a hospital or a school or a church or a barn, like he said, they're always funneling the energy in to it. But they already told you that the crystal doesn't lose energy. It's not like a battery that loses energy, but they're funneling the energy in to keep the energy balance and correct. Did I say it right, Peter, or did I say it wrong?
Yeah, no, you've got it right. And most well, actually, if you in a cold day, you can put your hand on your head and you can feel the heat coming out of your body. This is your energy going out into the universe, and at the same time, you've got energy coming in, and it goes through your feet into the core of the earth. We are basically light people, and we are connected to the the earth and all the other planets in the universe. If you could see that there are threads of energy that go from this earth out to the other planets, and then there are also these threads of energy coming back into the earth. So the whole earth is a living organism, and so it's this everything that's going on out in the space is coming in, and it's we have to realize we're of the universe of light and frequency, and it's when you become to peace with that, it's a wonderful thing, because then this fear of the coronavirus doesn't exist anymore. When you let fear take over your body, which is happening, you lose control. You've really got to be able to enjoy the life, like the laughter of children and all this stuff. As we said on the last show, music can play a big part. If you play heavy rock music, it can lower your vibration. If you play upbeat music, when they built the churches, they were all built with crystal in the basement, and of course they had the colored light coming through the glass windows, and the organ was the sound, and all these contributions of the colors, sound, frequency were being generated in those churches, and people came out totally uplifted, and it's something that we should be focusing on. Just having more fun, even if it's just walking outside and throwing the ball to the dog. We've got to start living and enjoying but I look at beauty. The trees are now coming onto leaf, all beautiful different greens, and you get the sun coming up in the morning, and it shines through those leaves. There's so much stuff that we can look at that warms the heart, so to speak, and make us feel alive and in this world. And this is what these products are designed to help you with that, and get you back on track as we are supposed to be, living happy people.
Beautiful. So, Peter, I have a question here, just came in, so I think it's appropriate I ask. Will the protector or the guardian help with my pine trees are dying because of a smart meter?
When you're close to a smart meter, there's so much radiation coming off that it will help. It will reduce the error, because I was measuring it yesterday with this meter, and the actual energy field from the smart meter was 6 feet. I didn't measure it because we have all these guardian, protector, and defender and revitalizer on our property. So, but one thing I did notice today is we had the 5G last year, and I never realized that it was even right on our doorstep. And we lost 5 hickory trees, but my neighbor down the road, he's lost all his mature hickory trees this last winter. We didn't have any earthworms. In fact, our garden was a disaster last year, and it was because of what we saw with the dairy cows, how it was affecting the bacteria in the digestive system of the cow. They were only digesting 20% of the food they were consuming. The other 80% was coming out undigested. And realized at that point we had to come up with a serious way of blocking those frequencies and helping the life. I mean, everything from plants, animals, trees, everything is being affected. We've been wrestling with this now in the last little while with lakes where there's no more bacteria in the lakes and they're just going green all over. And we've got some going in India now. We've finally been able to clear that lake. That was just a smelly mess. But yeah, as far as the trees, they should. I know when I have a blue spruce, and saw it today. It's just incredibly covered in all new flowering. They put out a pollen, and it just drifts all over everything. So that tree is showing signs of regenerating. So I don't see any reason why the trees away from the smart meter won't start regenerating with either the protector or the defender or the guardian in that scenario. But certainly in the realm of the smart meter on your house, it's going to go out to almost 200 feet, so it would cover those trees pretty nicely.
Beautiful. Maria, can you put one on each floor of the home? Home is 3,000 square feet. I guess, wouldn't a protector be enough for her to do the whole home? She wouldn't need two.
It would do it, yeah, because one protector in the middle does the 200 feet around it, 200 feet above and 200 feet below. So it's like a big bubble that you're in. So the size of the home, one in the center would be adequate for that home.
Okay, so this is Jacqueline. I'm going to answer the question, then you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, or if you can back me up on some things. Jacqueline, do the properties of the crystals last forever? Yes, they do. And like I was just saying, Jacqueline, they're also recharging them. And if anything changes from bacteria, virus, or anything else that's going on, that's actually infused. How did I do?
You got it right, yeah, because the glass we use is pure crystal glass. It comes from Germany. It's quite expensive. You can buy glass product made in China, but there'll be a lot of lead in it, and you don't want lead being the frequencies of lead going out through your house and your family. So this is pure crystal. It's like the chips in your computer. They hold an enormous amount of information. So these crystals, they hold the same information, and they actually they don't go off your property because they're programmed to stay within your comforts or the land that you own or the home that you own. So if you're in an apartment building, you're not doing your neighbor's apartment on each side. It stays within your zone, and it's your energy, and you experience it and enjoy it. So she only needs a one.
Thank you, sir. Andrea, so is it safe to have near a Wi-Fi box? What about on a TV stand, near a TV? Thank you, Peter.
It doesn't matter. Ours is upstairs, and I'm sitting right beside the Wi-Fi box right now, and I can turn this meter onto microwave, and look, I got 0, and I'm only 3 feet at the max from the Wi-Fi, so it doesn't have to be near the Wi-Fi at all.
Thank you, Peter. Dawn, can the crystal stop mold growth in a home?
Yeah, the oxygen, normal oxygen in a home would maybe 5 to 10 parts per million. All our technology, the Guardian, Defender, Protector, they all put out 55 parts per million of oxygen. They actually saturate the environment, and oxygen will control molds. They usually grow in a damp area, so um, a dehumidifier and to remove the humidity, but the oxygen will control the mold. The same, actually, another form of oxygen is hydrogen peroxide, and you can spray mold with hydrogen peroxide, and it just wipes it out right away.
Thank you, Peter. Poppy, this is a really good question, actually, Poppy. Thank you so much, okay? Poppy, how can a frequency be taken from a photo of an oak tree? Why not use part of an actual oak tree? Thank you.
Well, it's the camera that we use is a Polaroid camera, and the uh, the camera actually captures the energy of the tree, and so that you don't have to connect to the tree. You're connecting to the tree through the photograph, and this is why a lot of African people don't like their photographs taken because they say you're capturing a part of their energy. So what we're doing with a Polaroid camera is capturing the energy of the tree, and we have two trees. We have an oak and we have a horse chestnut because they have different grounding capabilities combined. So the reason we need this in our body is to allow our body to help our body to discharge the alternating current that's everywhere from our lighting to everything in our home. The wiring is just actually it's like a Faraday cage. Um, so by being able to allow your body to drain the AC current out and keep the DC current in your body is then functioning the way it should. See, this is the whole thing we're trying to do is enhance the oxygen in our body as well as all the microorganisms, microbes, and keep them healthy. If they start getting weakened by EMFs, your body starts weakening, and then you're being susceptible to viruses or anything else that come your way. See, the human body has an energy field around it. And if the energy field in your body is strong enough, viruses, coughs, and that kind of thing come in, and it is destroyed in the electrical field around your body, or the aura, as it's called. So it's important that once you find that without the bodyguard, the energy around your body may be a foot to 2 feet, but as soon as you put that bodyguard on, then that energy moves out 10 to 15 feet around your body. So that's enhancing. And we see this with trees too. When trees are sick, the aura around them is very close, and so we put in charged crystals on the soil, and almost immediately that immunity of the tree expands, and the tree becomes healthy again. And this is part of our whole mission on this, is to get your body to fight back against everything that's coming at us. And it's going to continue because there's no way we're going to slow down all of the technology that's coming with 5G and all of the smart fridges and smart locks and everything, and smart TV. Everything in our home is just, it's more and more
But Peter,
pollution.
Peter, don't you think that if people really stood up and actually got a voice and said, we're not going to buy this stuff? I mean, if we actually woke up and we stop and we say we're not going to buy this stuff, we're not going to do these things, then it would change, because we know that they could have made all of this healing frequencies. So there's got to be something behind this. I mean, think about it. We've got all these corporations making all these evil frequencies that are actually going to hurt children and hurt the elderly, and anybody that has an autoimmune disease, it could put them right over the edge. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely right. This is
It's
what's
evil.
happening.
This is evil, dude. It's evil.
Well, I look at when we grew up in England after the Second World War, when the bomb factory started producing fertilizers and chemicals, and then on they went to um, antibiotics and all the medications we're being prescribed. Uh, and as we get attacked more and more and more by these frequencies, we're going to be popping more and more pills if you listen to your doctor. Um, so one of the things that I have noticed, I was on a blood pressure pill, but once we got this system figured out, I've never had a blood pressure pill since. My blood pressure just stays absolutely normal. So, um, and you know, stress will push your blood pressure up. There are all kinds of things that cause disruptions in your body. So yeah, if you're under stress, your blood pressure go up. Oh, the doc gives you a pill. Go home and enjoy the thing until they come along. Well, your cholesterol's too high. You got to have another pill, and you know the story. So um, we have to start looking out for ourselves, and this is what I'm trying to and get people to listen to. You know, start thinking about what you can do to enhance your life. I mean, you only have one life, and you better make the best of it and use it to and respect your body and your spirit and your soul. That's the way it has to be.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So here's Karen. Karen, are there any difference between the colors of the bodyguards energy wise, or is that personal preference only? Which colors are better for which people and conditions?
It's primarily a preference. I wear a blue one because all my life blue is my favorite color. I wear it, and then other people like pink or they like the purple or yeah. It's just each pendant is doing the same function. It's just the colors that everybody has a color that they're drawn to, and that's the way the system is put. So, and we did the testing on them, and there is no difference between the different colors. They're all carrying the same amount of frequencies.
Thank you, sir. Joyce, does the stainless steel help with radiation blocks? In our city, our electric providers has turned to smart meters. Does ordering the meter protector help our, I think she means the protector. Will the protector help our homes against the smart meter?
Yes, it does. Because it shrinks that field down. It's still a radio frequency. I mean, it's a constant monitoring coming into that meter and back to the company that's monitoring that meter. So you've got electromagnetic fields, radio frequencies all coming in. So we compress them down, like I said, to 6 feet. Now, you wouldn't want to put a bed where the smart meter comes in, where the smart meter is. You wouldn't want to put a bed within 6 feet of that meter because it would really mess your sleep up and it could cause a lot of health problems. So you have to start thinking, okay, we've got our electrical panel here with the meter on it. We can put a chest of drawers or something if it's in a bedroom, but keep the bed away from that wall, and you'll be perfectly safe. But I've seen so many people put the head of the bed right behind that meter, and it's a bunch of hurt. Okay.
Thank you, Peter. Poppy, would guests in my home or other family members be affected by the Bodyguard pennant, or being close to me?
Not necessarily, no, because it's protecting your
Field.
and it usually I don't think it would intrude on the other people's fields. There may be a marginal effect, but nothing measurable.
Okay. Carmen, if I install a revitalizer from my farm, does it protect 5,000 acres of my land only, or does it protect all my neighbors? Not all of my farmland is connected in proximity of my farmyard. Well, that doesn't matter. It's a higher vibration and intelligence, and it will just stay on your property. Is that correct, Peter?
That is absolutely right. It
And it
stays
will
on your,
and it will do
yeah.
5,000 acres, won't it?
Oh yes, it does 5,000 acres, and it, because of the, the fact it's staying on your property, it will migrate to those fields further away. So it will cover everything.
Beautiful. So it's actually what Peter's saying, everybody, which is so cool, is if she has acreage, like if her acreage is here and somebody's is here and then hers is there, so something's stuck in the middle of the 2 acres, it will go to that acreage and it'll do up to 5,000. There's a mind
Correct.
bender. That's a mind bender, Peter. Okay, all right. All right. So, Yvette, if I have an ultrasonic device to rid pests, spiders, ants, will this device block, hinder, lessen, stop, interfere with the frequency of my pendant or protector, or block my pest sonar? I don't believe that. Do you, Peter?
No, it won't. These sonic devices, they're used for moles in the lawns, all kinds of rats and mice. So no, those sonic devices wouldn't affect the pendant or the protector or the defender or any of those.
They could live in harmony.
They can live in harmony. Exactly. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Tracy, is there any way I can test the strength of the protector crystals?
The only way you can test them is by putting them on your body. You can take, like I just showed you,
Or you could buy a tester, right?
Yeah, a multimeter on milliamps, and you hold one on each finger, and it'll give you your DC current. You can do the blood test for oxygen. There are ways of knowing. Those two are I mean, you can buy those little oxygen meters now. I think 35 at Walmart and probably $70 at a drugstore. And they just clip on your finger and give you an instant oxygen reading. And that's a surefire way of knowing the Bodyguard is actually working.
Beautiful. Tom, are the frequency crystal products based on Rife, like Rife machine? No, Tom, they're not. Right?
No.
Share-
These are radionic frequencies that are pure frequency. There is so we look, if we put a frequency of oxygen in water, it actually brings more oxygen in water. And with the Revitalizer, it puts in carbon in the soil. So it's pulling in 20 tons of carbon per acre into the soil. So these are frequencies that blend in with nature. They're part of nature. The one thing about radionics is there's no limitations to it. I mean, those frequencies can go to the moon, the sun. There is no limitations on the distance they go, where the Rife has a limitation of how far it can go. That's the way I'm putting it.
Sharon, are there any good books on radionics you would recommend for additional reading, Peter?
There's two books that are The Secret Life of Plants by Christopher Bird and The Secrets of the Soil by Christopher Bird. There are a lot of stories in there about radionics and Galen Hieronymus, but there's also, in The Secret Life of Plants, they took a lie detector and they put it on a philodendron plant, and then they said all kinds of nice things to it, and measured the thing on the monitor. So then about a few blocks away was another philodendron plant where a guy took a cigarette and burned the leaf on that plant, and the other one where they were doing the tests went into panic. I mean, these plants communicate with each other. So that's another indication of frequencies and how um, we've seen where people start cutting a forest, clear cut, and all the trees around starts basically going into a shutdown mode. They have a fear. So nature is a very delicate thing, and I wish more people would understand the complexity of the life that we're in, rather than how big a TV I have or how much Wi-Fi I have and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I can say on that.
Thanks, Peter. Barb says, do the frequency crystals include C60? Could that be added if not there now? Peter, can you hold 1 second? I just want to tell everyone that we've been working on a new type of production and a better absorption of a C60, and we're actually bringing it out. It'll be out in 4 to 6 weeks. It'll be up on our website. Check it out, everybody. And it'll also be priced better than any other C60 that I know. So, but check it out and see what you think. Peter, C60.
I believe we have that in our product because we've been working with the C60 over time. So there may have been a limited amount of it. At this stage, I would have to say I'm not sure. But, we have certainly looked at that. And it could be in there. But, again, I haven't been focused. I've been focusing on so much other stuff with protecting the life.
Well, what do you think, Peter, if I send you a sample of my C60 and you put it in there?
That would have a very immediate effect. Now, I'll tell you, we can say your iodine that you have.
The infinite iodine, that we have.
Infinite iodine, we put that into all of our products. It's not to say you don't take it. You're still going to need it, but it really what it does is supports everything. So I had a guy with a grow up that was growing marijuana, and his crop was just about ready to harvest, and he got the mildew on it. So I said, send me a picture of it. So he did, and I put it on the machine that we charge the protector and defender and all these items on. And it was at noon, and the next day he phoned me up. He said, I can't believe it. He said, the pheromones coming off them crop plants was just unbelievable, and the CBD oil was almost dripping off the ends of the seeds, he said. So this proves a point that if you have radiation poisoning, they put you on iodine. So with all the radiation in the air and the atmosphere and our environment, we need a source of iodine to support our bodies. So anything that we can put in, we can boost support for our whole system, because it is very complex and it needs help all the time. Okay, Darrell?
Beautiful, beautiful. Stacy, you mentioned the crystals now include Dr. Wolfe's new iodine. What will that do for us? We just answered it. Okay, thank you very much, Stacy. There you go. I guess we're really connected, Stacy. Jim, do the frequency crystals include ashwagandha, DIM, Bach flower remedies?
We definitely have the Bach flower remedies, rescue remedy. We have, there was a mushroom I just put in for coronavirus, I think it was. Yeah, it was a Ashwagandha. Anyway, we have most of those into the. We've been using all biodynamics, and those things are all been built in over the years. We've been building this program for almost 40 years now.
Yeah, so I guess it's a bit of a laundry list. So the reality is when you're using frequencies, the product doesn't have to get bigger and bigger.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Lisa, do the frequency products structure water? If yes, what do we have to do for that to happen? I don't know if they structure water, but they would definitely help to balance and harmonize it, correct?
That's correct. They change the molecular structure of the water. They make the water molecules smoother and smaller. And of course, um, this is the other beautiful thing about when you put in the protector in your home, the frequencies actually are putting oxygen into the water. Those frequencies go through the whether it's copper pipe or the PVC pipe, or and so it's actually and when you if you want to prove that, you just take a glass of water, hold it under the tap, and as you fill it, you'll see all the bubbles in the water. They'll just be dancing up and down in the water. So yeah, you got to have changed the surface tension of the water to be able to get into the cells and hydrate the cells and flush nutrients in and waste away. So there is a lot of moving going on here. But yes,
And it also, if I'm right, Peter, it also reprograms the water because understand something, everybody, and this is the average. This is about minimum, not really the average, about minimum. You got to understand that all the water that you drink, okay, it's actually passed through someone's toilet 17 times before it was purified again. So even if you purify water with a carbon filter, distiller, reverse osmosis, or any other purification system, if it hasn't been structured, okay, then you haven't erased the memory from the chemicals, the drugs, and if the person had a bad mood, it's still in there. That's why nature's water is restructured water. That's why when the rain comes down, it's full of heavy metals, full of chemicals. It doesn't hurt the birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees. Why is that? Well, because our creator knew to structure it. Peter, what do you think?
that is correct. And of course, the purest water is mountain stream water, and it's going around rocks, and it sings as it goes down. So yeah, we built we still have some, but water devices where we put 7 crystal balls in the middle of a stainless steel unit, and the water would go through, and it would go around those balls, and it would succuss it and change the structure and put frequencies in. We were putting in oxygen. Of course, we're not doing this now because we don't have the time, but it was able to put a frequency in to remove the chlorine or the
Fluoride.
the other element that I was trying to think, fluoride.
Yeah.
People don't want the fluoride in the water, so we were able to take that out with frequency. But like I said, we're not in that field now. We're just specializing on what we're doing right now because we don't want to get spread too thin
Yeah.
with what we have.
And,
Okay?
and our structure unit will do that. So it will actually change the chemistry and the frequency of any chemical that's in by just running it through the structure water unit. Okay, does your radionics, there's no name on this, does your radionics crystal act like a torus shield, providing an energy shield, and does it increase oxygen around the individual? I know you've kind of answered this already, but
Yeah, yes, it does puts a shield around your body. Like this is what it doesn't matter whether it's the guardian, the defender, protector, or even the Revitalizer. It puts a shield around that we created with frequencies using. We started out with a eggshell, which is to protect the chicken, the egg, and then we built on mirrors on the outside and organic matter on the inside to absorb all these radiation. Even there's a lot of radiation coming from the sun that these days it can be harmful to you, the cells of your body. It's just so strong right now. So we try to filter everything out so your body is shielded and protected. So it does this protection around your body, and but because it's in frequency form, it's not something you reach out and touch. You certainly, if you had dowsing rods, you could walk out and find the perimeter of it, and the dowsing rods would swing where you hit the end of it.
beautiful. So anyways, Jim says, what is a revitalizer and what does it look like? Jim, if you want to go to my website and you go to EMF/light, you'll find all of our EMF products there, and the crystals are all there. and you'll find the Revitalizer. Now, the Revitalizer is about the size of a microwave oven, and all you got to do is just bury it underground, that it's just underneath the ground, and you can check the information out there. Now, here's another one, Peter. John says, you mentioned there are lots of vitamins and minerals and frequencies in the crystals. Where could we get a complete list of what frequencies are included? Now, if I can say something, I don't know if you will provide that, but if you do want to provide that, Peter, when you come back in 8 weeks, maybe we could put that at the end of the show and we could leave it up for people to see.
Well, that's possible. Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them I don't even know the names of anymore. It's easy to know the vitamins C, D,
Yeah.
A, B, those things, but you got to remember that within the digestive system, there are enzymes that are converting, that actually your body actually produces vitamins through the enzymes and the bacteria in your body. And that's why, if you're eating healthy, you shouldn't be needing to support too much support. But anyway, we can work on it. It'll take a long while to get them all put together because, we've
It's
got
all right,
magnetic
Peter.
fields yeah,
It's all right, because you know what? The proof is going to be in the pudding, everyone.
yeah.
Sarah, the vitamin C, for example, if the frequency for the vitamin C is in the protector, and everybody, the protector is the one for the home, and the Bodyguard is the one that I wear around my neck. How much, and all of these frequencies, all of these different things, they have these in them. How much vitamin C is included? An unlimited supply depending on what the body needs. I'm wondering if you still need to supplement with tablets, or is the frequency only for so many milligrams? Well, if I can answer and then you tell me, Peter, what you need to understand is you'll still take your supplementation. This is an added support to kind of, how can I say this, cement it all in.
That's right. Yeah, we do put vitamin C, and I think it's a 600 mil capsule, but it's by no means enough for your body. You'd probably be able to get along quite nicely on 200 milligrams of vitamin C on a daily basis, rather than going to the higher levels. So your body, it just needs this support of these elements that the dependent or the protector and the Bodyguard actually there to support the nutrients that you put in your body, rather than have them just flush through the body undigested. It helps to assimilate them into your bloodstream and the rest of your body, and that's the simplest way I can put it.
Maria, what tool do you use to measure the radiation?
Again, we're using the tri-field meter. It's a Model 100. So these are available. There's different companies, they sell these meters. You can they measure all the different, whether it's magnetic or microwave or radio or all those different frequencies that are coming in. They're more sophisticated. The new ones are really sophisticated. They will give you very detailed information of what's going on in your environment.
Rita, you mentioned that your skin improves. Yeah. How long does that take? Well, you know what, Rita, I'm going to tell you something. It'll be different for everyone because it depends on your hydration, depends on your diet, depends on how much alcohol you drink, how many cigarettes you smoke, how much you vape. But the reality is you will see the difference. How's that, Peter?
That's right. Yeah, everyone that seems to, that's one of the things it sneaks up on them. They suddenly look in the mirror one day and, my goodness, my skin looks better. I look younger. And, it's purely the fact that you're increasing the movement of blood through your body. And of course, the blood's carrying nutrients to the skin. And you're enhancing, and of course, there is the other factor of detoxing. So many people's skin You know, you go in a room full of smokers and you walk away, and you'll smell like a cigarette. That's getting right into the pores of your body. So your body has to um, work to get that out, and it does. And this whole technology is really working on your entire body. I mean, your blood circulation. You have less problems with your feet and knees, and assuming you know you're eating healthy food, and there's nothing wrong with having a few things that are not good for you at some time, but it's you know certainly I wouldn't want to be recommending too much alcohol or too much sugar. Sugar is the biggest curse that we have, and anyway, no, it would definitely improve your skin. There's no question about it.
Great. Jacob, there are 5 products that vary in size and area of frequency. Do they all emit the same frequencies, or do the guardian crystals for the garden have different frequencies than the household or the defender? Yeah, they vary because the guardian is for the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, and everything that grows and everything that you would love to eat. And then where the defender is, it's more for a large space and to protect that space for human beings. How's that, Peter?
That is right. Yeah, because the guardian is green, and that's the color of plants. And of course, chlorophyll is green. Chlorophyll is the closest thing to human blood in the plant world. Um, when we get into these big buildings where there are a lot of people and we need a higher level, so we put in the royal blue, and oxygen is blue, so we're enhancing the oxygen throughout the building because they're not looking at growing plants. Now, if there are plants in those buildings, whether they're in people's offices or they're definitely going to benefit from this because the program is the same that goes into each one. It's just the color of the royal blue is better suited to big buildings, and the green is more suited to growing gardens in the home, and even to the point, you know, of helping your own body. So yeah, there is a reason why we have the 2 colors, but basically they are programmed the same. Okay.
Beautiful. Kim, do the crystals put negative ions into the air? Good question.
Yes, they do, and this is how they're being done through the Tesla coils that we fire them across to make negative ions, and then they're part of this plasma that goes out. So yeah, they're putting the negative ions right in the home, and and helping you know the environment. So yeah, we've done a lot of research, but we started mostly with livestock on farms, and then we realized, you know, the geomagnetic lines were where we started, and they were affecting animals, but they were also affecting the people in the houses. So right through, we've come back to where we're able to do the total environment. Okay, all right, Darrell.
Absolutely. So just to take a little snippet here, I just texted my IT guy and I told him to put all to put the bodyguard, the protector, the defender, and the guardian, and I told him to put them all on sale until Friday night. Everyone, they'll be on sale till Friday night midnight. So if you want to check them out, and that's it. All right. So just to let you know, Tim, there's a homeopathic medicine called Mozi-Q that repels mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. Could that frequency be added to the crystals for the body and the home version? If not, appropriate for farms?
Uh, we are very cautious about putting um, something that's designed to repel, like a mosquito, because we don't know the residual effect on the cells and the body. So you know, you better, it's better to balance your pH to repel mosquitoes than that is to put in some form of a frequency or chemical that I don't understand. So I wouldn't do it.
No, and you know that's a bingo because there's people that the more acidic you are, the more you get bit, and that's real. And you know that's even about fleas. That's also about lice. It's about any type of bugs. You know they go for an imbalance in the human body, and watch who gets bugged the most. Okay, all right. So next question. Wayne, you mentioned that according to Radionics, the crystal devices will only cover your property and not go onto others' properties who don't who don't want them. It makes me wonder if the opposite is also true. Is there a prayer or an intention you should focus on to encourage healing frequencies in your body or home to get the most out of your device? Good question. Good question.
Well, yeah, the certainly prayer is one thing that we don't do enough of. Um, my programming is primarily to um, stay within the area that you're covering. I have a room where I go and I do my prayers every day, and that's part of, I've done it for all my life. And so, yeah, that definitely makes a difference to your evolving in spirituality. You're feeding that need, and it's a good thing to do. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so this is Kathy, and she says, I'm confused. Will the protector protect all family members in the home? I can say yes to that. But the bodyguard, okay, will not protect someone standing next to me. That's true because it's personal. It's your bodyguard, where your protector was meant for the home, so it's going to cover everybody and anybody who walks into that home. How's that, Peter?
That's exactly the way it's designed, and that's exactly the way it works. The bodyguard is your personal unit. It goes with you shopping, traveling in the car or wherever. And that's another interesting thing. When you increase oxygen in your home, your furnace, if you're on a gas furnace or oil furnace, it burns more efficient. You get a much cleaner burn and a more efficient. Now, the same thing works with your car. So we've been checking it out. We wear our pendants all the time in the car. And I've got a GMC Terrain, which is a heavy vehicle, and I'm getting 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers, where it was around seven before, so or 7.5. So it has reduced the amount of because the engine is burning cleaner and more efficiently. So not only are you in the car, but it's also benefiting your car at the same time. So as you go into the shopping mall or anywhere else, then you got your personal protection, and it keeps you in that high oxygen bubble wherever you go. Even people have used it in hot tubs and saunas and gone through radar with it. It still keeps on. It's like a Timex watch. It still keeps on ticking.
There you
So
go. And you know, and in watches, they would actually put a crystal in watch to keep them ticking.
that's right.
Ron,
Yeah.
do the frequencies go through glass? If you place the house protector into a china cabinet to protect it, would the frequencies go through the glass doors of the china cabinet, or should it be placed in an open air location in the house? Thank you, Peter.
No, it'll pass right through the glass. Like I said, it'll pass through the walls and go into your backyard. So your energy will pass through um, anything other than possibly lead is one, um, maybe aluminum is another one. But yeah, there's no problem putting it in it because it is actually a thing. It's nice to look at. That's why we did it this way. We wanted something beautiful to look at, as well as functional, and that's why we went with these designs. They've been difficult to maintain it sometimes, but we've now finally got the system down where we're getting really top quality all the time.
Practice makes perfect, Peter. It only
Yeah,
took you
yeah.
40 years. That's okay. All right.
That's okay.
So, Sharon, do the neck. I love this question. Sharon, I love your question. Sharon, from Sharon, do the necklaces and train or entangle to one person? Or could a necklace be shared in the family? For example, if you have the house protector in the home, maybe you don't need a necklace for everyone. Just whoever leaves the house could wear it. No, I don't know. What do you think, Peter?
I see no downside to that. I think that would be quite an interesting. I know for a fact that it would protect that person, whoever's wearing that pendant or protector or bodyguard. It's going to be working for them. I mean, we've we've had people that, for just some unknown reason, don't like a certain color and they want another color, and we've changed
Yeah.
them, and they work the same. So it's it would work that way.
Well, it would definitely work, especially, it doesn't matter how big the family is, especially at COVID time, when you're not allowed out of the house and somebody has to sneak out, they only need one, right?
Right, right, exactly.
There
Yeah.
you go. Lacey, have you any feedback from families who have children with autism? I do. I do, and ADHD, okay? And understand something. You know what? I really want people to, we should really call it like it is. It's like, you know what? We call we call people that PTSD who come back from war PTSD, and actually it's called shell shock. But the government so-called likes to buffer that down, so we really don't know why they're coming back like that. So they don't need to really take as responsibility for the people that come back shell shock. Just like autism, when it should be called vaccine damaged. Okay, just a little personal note from Dr. Wolfe that let's call it like it is, because you'll always have corporations and governments always giving a new name, buffering it down, kind of sliding it through. But anyways, autism. Did they notice anything when wearing the crystal or having the home version? Let me tell you something. Calm, peace. Isn't that what it's all about? What about you, Peter? What do you think?
Well, yes, this one of the major benefits of this protector bodyguard is it calms you down. It takes the edge off everything. So these children would certainly um, be less hyper and more calmed down. So I think that would be a very, very positive uh, thing for those children. I know if we had the ability to do schools, that would, because we've been um, put in, because kids are, they want to show it to everybody if they got something that the other kid don't have. And this is the only problem with, uh, how you could keep it. You almost have to stitch it in their clothing.
Yeah, you would.
But yeah, but no, they would definitely have a profound effect on the child over a period of time.
Everybody, you've been really patient. We have 5 more questions. I'm telling you, people just really, the questions here. I mean, like we had like 40 questions today. Okay, we had like 20 questions come in, and we had 21 questions, so that's like 41 questions. Frank, are the guardian and protector updated? Yeah, I can tell you right now, they're not updated. They're continually being fed energy. Okay. The next one, Dawn. I'm a grower of 5 acres of hemp this year, and would like to grow. Would like to know which device would give me the best results. Also, can you please tell me how that device will help my crop exactly? What benefits you think my plants will realize? How much difference do you think there would be from using the Guardian or the Revitalizer? There you go, Peter. I'll leave that one to you.
Well, in this case, I would certainly recommend the Guardian, because it does the same things as the Revitalize. It's pulling in greenhouse gases, putting them in the soil as carbon. This is a brown viscous liquid, the first phase of carbon, and then it goes to sugar, and on the way up coal, and end up at dimes. So by putting the carbon in the soil, it's nutrients for the bacteria, nutrients for the plant, by putting oxygen in the soil, you're enhancing the bacterial activity, the earthworm activity, and your plant responds. So um, it's and the other thing is it will. I'm sure you're probably irrigating, but in a dry time, it will help to wick moisture back up to the surface for the plants. So yes, it would have a very positive effect on the health of the plant and uh, the yield of the plant. Certainly, it would be. You could even tell the color. I mean, the leaves would be very dark green. We've seen where we have these in a grow up, the leaves are very dark green, and where they put in uh, 12 or 14 plants in an outside tunnel, they're now putting in 7 because the plants grow so big. And this is the other thing, those plants will grow wider and taller. They provide a lot more uh, flower heads than normally without the aid of the guardian. I think that would be the one thing that would really work well. And it probably, if your land is close enough to your house, you could put it in your house, or if not, you'd have to put a dog kennel or something in the area where the thing is going. Put it in a dog kennel because you don't want people seeing this at all and walking off with it. Okay.
Thank you, Peter. So, Janice, can you make a protector, or I mean, not a protector, can you make a bodyguard for small pets? The regular size bodyguard is too large and heavy for Jack Russell Terrier or cat. Now, just so you know, when you call the office 855-900-4544, you can call directly to our office and you can special order for your cat or for a little terrier. Okay, we have lots of people that have already done this, but we don't have it up online. But if you've got a family member with hair that's small, we're going to look after that family member. Eh, Peter?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And next question, Frank. Okay, no, Poppy. Do you have others who are programming the crystals apart from Peter? Hey, Peter, there you go.
Well, we are the only people doing it. As far as I know, we're the only people programming these crystals. No one else is.
Yeah, you're the only mad scientist here, right?
That's right, and fortunately we have a mad glassblower who is the only person that's able to make these because it is a skill. So it's between the glassblower and myself. That's all that's involved in the programming. Well, I do all the programming.
Beautiful. Okay, so Frank, are the Guardian and Protector updated? They're continually updated, like breathing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Next one, Jay. I wear my Bodyguard 24/7. Is that okay? The first week I wore it to bed, I felt warm, relaxation feeling, but 2 months in, I don't feel anything. Should I take it off occasionally or leave it on 24/7? You know what? I would say, I'll let you take this in a second, Peter. You know what? Sometimes I do take it off, but not for long. I don't like taking it off. Now, I do have people that say that they like to take it off sometimes when they go to bed. So you know what? I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing more powerful than gut instinct. And if we were working off gut instinct and our subconsciouses weren't programmed, this would be a different world. Peter, what do you think?
Well, you certainly can take it off, depending on whether you want to have it on the night table beside the bed, or if you have the protector, it's doing the whole house, so there's no reason to wear it. But I wear mine all the time but I take it off at night every night, so because I don't like stuff around my neck at night. But yeah, you can. Yeah, there's no downside if you want to take it off, just take it off, and if you at some point in time you feel, well, I need it tonight, you can wear it. But yeah.
All right, here's Jay again. Is there any way we can recharge our crystals? You don't need to. They stay charged. They don't run out like a battery. This is not a Duracell battery. You got to understand something. They don't run out. I bought the Bodyguard 2 months back and I could feel it helping, but now I feel nothing. Can I do anything to recharge it? It doesn't need to be recharged. Here's the thing. So when somebody actually has a bad diet and they go to a good diet, they're going to have a detox. Then they're going to feel like, wow, the symptoms are going away. I feel amazing. And then after a couple of months, you're not recognizing it because that becomes your new normal. So your new normal, which is a higher vibration, which is protecting you and taking you further away from dis-ease, becomes your normal. It's not losing its charge. What do you think, Peter?
Well, that's correct, because in the initial stages, it's rebuilding the cells in your body, detoxifying the body, regenerating your body, and that you would feel that. But when you hit the peak, that's where you stay. You don't go any higher. So, if you without it for a while, then you start getting the same old pollution back in your body. Then you'd miss it. But no, you get to a peak. This thing is not going to take your body any higher than what it's safe. I mean, it's the safety factor. It's going to detox at a certain speed. It's going to regenerate your cells at a certain speed. And trying to change that, we wouldn't do it. I mean, it's designed to keep your body at optimum. Once you get there, then you're not going to notice any change.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Here's just a comment. I don't know if you want to say anything, but Linda from New York says, we live in a large condo complex, and when I go on my cell phone, we would find that there would be up to 30 different Wi-Fis. Ever since I got Bodyguards and I got a protector, we are now sleeping. There's so much more peace, and my children, I noticed that they are not fighting as much or irritable, and they can actually focus on their homework, especially that we were in lockdown. Thank you so much, Peter and Dr. Wolfe. What do you think of that, Peter?
That's wonderful. That's the kind of thing we like to hear, because too often we don't hear the good things that are happening to people. So a story like that is just wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, so there's a good example. Anyways, Peter, that's our last question. Yes, it is. So what would you like to tell everyone? But before you do, I just want to tell everybody again, Peter will be back in 8 weeks, and I'll tell you why. The reason why we're going to have Peter back is because we get people calling, and we get people emailing, and we get people texting. So in about, let's say, 6 to 8 weeks, Peter will come back. So let's talk about, so what is it now? So we'll be looking at Peter coming back around August. So anywhere from the first week to the second week, we'll figure out a date. You'll know it's going to be around there, everyone. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a Q&A, because you know what? It's always lots of questions. And also, just so you know, I'm going to be putting this show up in, if you go to our website, you can find the crystals, okay, the crystal EMF protectors, and you're going to find this show will be in there. So if you want to share it with someone, so go to EMF/light. You can find the product if you want to take a look at it. And then you can also share the show if you want with other people. It'll also be up on YouTube. Facebook, we'll lose it on Facebook. But also, just so you know, until Friday night, we will have the protectors and the bodyguards on sale for everybody, okay? All right. So, Peter, what do you think? What would you like to say?
Well, we are being constantly bombarded with negative energies from technology and also fear. I think it's time we started doing something to protect ourselves and our families. And as for those farmers that are skeptical, buy one and do your livestock facilities and just watch and see and experience. Then you would be open to other things that we can help you with down the road. But there has to be, somebody has to go out and make a move to we're going to improve everything we're doing. And this is why we're doing this show, is to kind of get people to look at another way of enhancing their lives. I mean, everything is reasonably priced. They can, and I'm sure the payback is just going to be unbelievable. So that's where I'm leaving it right now. But we'll still keep digging and coming up with new things as we move along, and we'll be incorporating them, and we'll be talking about them. So
Yeah, and we won't be
anyway,
coming up with stuff like new and improved because he's improving in on this, and you never ever have to switch it for a new one or update
no,
it. So everybody, you need to understand something that where other devices and other pennants and other things that you buy, they're not going to get updated like this. So we want your comments. We want your questions. And you can send them in and I'll do the best that I can. I'm doing a Q&A on Monday. I'll answer all your questions the best I can. But when it gets to the more questions that I can't answer, we will be answering them, like I said, in the first, second week. You'll go to docofdetoxshow.com or just watch on Facebook. We'll have it on the banner. We'll let you know when the beautiful, lovely Peter will be coming back. So, Peter, what would you like to say, everybody?
well, I really appreciate you having the time with us and listening to our advice or knowledge, and I look forward to meeting you the next time. Good night.
God bless you, Peter, and thank you for all your beautiful work, and I
Yeah.
do mean that. We do try to find the most amazing high-frequency products, whether you're going to wear them, they're going to be in your home, whether you're going to put them in your body. Like everything we do, if you do your research, you'll see that our products are the highest frequency that you can buy because we are frequency beings, everyone. And as soon as you get onto this, you'll understand that the power of your mind, the power of thought form creates physical form. So watch out what you think. Watch out what you drink. Watch out what you eat and start loving, respecting, and loving yourself and fill your heart up so that you can shine that light on your whole family. Now, for those of you who would like to know, join me. Okay, so tomorrow I am doing another Doc Talk Live on Friday. I usually don't do this, but I've got 30 questions to answer, and I promised everyone I would. If you want to join me, join me. If you've got questions that you want to add to Doc Talk for tomorrow, put them in under here, or just join us live and send your questions in, okay? And I will answer them to the best of my ability, okay? And remember something, everybody. You're going to find out, watch this weekend, watch the videos I put up, and then tell me that this wasn't planned and plotted a long time ago, what's going on right now. So Q&A, I will be doing another Q&A on Monday because that's when we usually do it. So it'll be Friday and then again on Monday. It may not be as long Monday. Wouldn't that be great? And then all our Q&As and all our shows are time-stamped. They're put up on YouTube, so you can go right to your questions so you don't have to listen to the whole show. How's that? And on Wednesday, June the 3rd, I'm going to have, a personal treatment and training, a couple that was here, and it's called A Beautiful Couple Gets a Second Chance at Life. And you're going to see that the husband brought the wife because the wife was in trouble, and when he got here, he found out that he was in more trouble than her. And understand something. Did they get a wake-up call? Don't miss this show on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time next Wednesday. All right? And don't forget this, everyone. I know I'm going on a little bit, but I need to do this, and I'm really proud of this. I've talked it over with a lot of my master trainers that I have trained, and understand, right now we've got 5 master consultants. You can pick from whatever one you want. And we're doing consultations for $125 in their lifetime. You'll get a free audio. You can pick the consultant that you want. They will create the perfect day for you from the minute you wake up until you go to bed. And I will tell you something. If it's not worth 10 times your money, then just get a refund from us. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Unless you know how to create the perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed, and you don't have a strategy, then guess what? Then you're not living by design, you're living by default. Some days they go good, some days they don't. Why do you make the choices to eat and drink and do those things you know that aren't good for you? Would you like to have a coach, and would you like to have a coach for a lifetime? And when I say this, how would you like to be able to call us 5 times in one day? And no more texting, no more emailing, but calling a human being and saying, I'm in trouble, or I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and only pay one time and actually have us work with you for your life. Understand something. Why can we do this? Because we're going to show you how to master your mind and your body and get your life back. And you know what? You can't go for a consultation and have 2 big bags of supplements and think it's going to work. It's all about programming. It's all about repetition. And it's all about creating the perfect day and repeating it for the perfect life. Okay? My upcoming courses, I have one in September the 18th. All right? To the 25th, I'll be in Tampa. I'll be there for 8 days. If you want to become a whole life coach certified, go to itioh.com and understand you'll be certified under the World Organization of Natural Medicine if you're a practitioner and you want to learn how to emotionally, nutritionally help people and help to detox them properly, learn how to do proper water fasting, learn about how to build programs with people from cancer to constipation. I'm your guy. I'm going to do this, okay? It's limited, and understand it's going to be at the Omni 5-star resort, okay? And the rooms are really inexpensive, guys. It's less than half price, 8 days. Come to the resort and come and learn how to get your power back and how you can bring up your game. If you're not a practitioner, how to become one. And I mean, you can do it if you've always wanted to become one. October 17th, okay, till November 6th, we'll be doing a course in Kelowna. It's 21 days. It'll be the whole life coach and it'll be the non-surgical, which is 11 days. If you want to learn the most powerful body work in the world, then I'll give you a guarantee that it is. If you can find somebody that can pull a fibroid apart the size of an orange and reduce its size by 40 to 50% in a 1-hour treatment, you go and you find me that person. If you've got somebody going to get surgery on their spine, how about they don't go? How about no hip replacement, no knee replacement? Understand something. We do have the best body work and the most powerful. And if you want to learn more about it, just email me at quickstart@docofdetox.com and I'll send you my 7 empowering steps. And go in and look at my masterclass. Read from page 5 to 40 and find out why, okay, why we are being sold off by the pound and it doesn't have to happen. Okay, 1 out of every 100 surgeries, that's all that needs to happen. The rest of them do not have to happen when you wake up. November the 28th to December the 18th, I'll be in Palm Springs for 21 days doing the full certification, whole life coach, and non-surgical. And where are we going to be? Omni Resort, 5-star hotel. Come and join me. Or just come for a couple nights if you want to come and listen to a lecture. Or if you want to come for treatment, okay, I'll be in Florida, like I said, in Tampa. Okay, and then I'll be in California. If you want to get treatment, if you think you got to go to surgery or you can't walk and you've got a limp, okay, and you think that there's no help or you can't breathe, you check me out. And if in the first treatment that I work on you or one of my therapists works on you, if we don't do more than every other treatment you've ever got, don't pay us. Now, why am I doing that? Because I'm telling you, your power, you have the power to heal. And understand, if you knew that it was a scar tissue calcification and crystallization issue, that's why you're old, that's why you're crippled. Okay? All right. And then understand this, if you really want to take the big bite, we'll be in February, we'll be in Ixtapa, at the Ixtapa Palace. It's going to be called the World Training and Healing Center. I'm opening that up. I'm opening it up in February. And we'll be doing a full course. And we're also doing what's called the 33-day awakening, where you can come there, and I promise you that we will love you well. And you will leave there loving yourself well, and you will let nobody ever again, physically, emotionally, or spirit-wise, abuse you. Because when you learn to totally love, honor, and respect yourself, and you're able to say no, if we could say no, this world would be a better place. And if we could say yes to ourselves when we need to, wow, what an amazing experience that would be. And that's the way I live. I want to share that with you. All right? God bless everyone. Have the best day of your life. Until tomorrow. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.